Yo, what's up? I just got this streak and I thought I might as well make a video out of it. Like, it's a bit of a history about that, I guess, but I'm gonna explain that later. But pretty much, like, when I started playing GeoGuessr, I always loved these like country streak videos. Especially like I remember watching like RC doing like country streaks on a diverse world, and somebody got like a 100 streak, and yeah, now I got a 100 streak for the first time, which I'm actually really happy about. And yeah, I thought, like, why not do a commentary about it and explain a little bit of my thought process. Like, I will go pretty fast in the first rounds, I think. Can't quite remember, but in the end I will definitely slow down a bit. Or not a bit, I actually go really slow in the end. I make like a double check everything pretty much. So I think I can explain some stuff there. Okay, let's see. I can't even remember what kind of rounds. There were definitely some difficult ones on this. Okay, yeah, just go your ass. I don't know. Right, okay, this gives me Baltic vibes. I got a thin red border on the sign, so more Lithuania, Estonia, and the pole was Lithuanian. I think we had the yellow place there, I don't know. Kyrgyzstan car, so I just insta send. Yeah, we got here, okay, tie poles, squared poles with holes that go all the way to the bottom. Classical tie poles. You can also get them in Lao, but yeah. Driving left, okay. Very typical Lesotho vibes, no trees at all. In Southern Africa. Okay, Tasmania. Actually, I can't really explain too much here because I go so fast, I guess. We had a red car there, I guess, so Ukraine. Okay, Sri Lanka car with the red on the right, blue on the left. Okay, Southeast Asia vibes and driving right, and I think we had language there, like English or something. So it makes sense for Philippines. Okay, this looks very much like Brazil. Red soil, double yellow lines. Taiwan markings on the poles, like, was pretty much could only see the yellow there. It was like black and yellow diagonal stripes. Brazil phone number, we have a 91 area code, which is like BLM on the wall there. Again, the same pattern on the poles. And this looks like Eswatini, again, Southern Africa with the yellow outer lines. It's kind of hard to see here. White car, driving left. And yeah, we will have another Eswatini later, I think, which is similar. I can explain that one more in depth. Okay, this one is, yeah, I think I took my time on this one. So we don't have too much here. We have some signs, classic European style signs, obviously. White middle line, so yeah, obviously in Europe. Then the vibes, I don't know. First thought something like Czechia, Hungary probably. The sign we can see on the right there, the blue one, that's actually very typical Baltic sign. And I guess there's also a pole, but I don't think I've spotted it yet. Yeah, pretty flat, that makes sense for the Baltics as well. And these blue signs are with double signposts, very typical Baltic. And yeah, then we have the bollards. Kind of hard to see. I think I'm just trying to see what kind of bollards those are. It's kind of hard to see there. Just can consider a couple with that view. I think I consider like that is probably just Lithuania, these bollards. And again, we have on the yield sign that I just looked at, we have the thin red outer border, which within the Baltics makes sense for Lith and Estonia, and I think there was the pole actually, a Lithuanian pole. Okay, there we have Thai language. First there might be not Sri Lanka, Singapore. But yeah, Thai pole again with the holes and square pole. And yeah, Thai language as well. And yeah, with that build up, it's pretty much Bangkok every time, I think. Okay, short plates here. So a bit tricky. We have a stubby antenna. Mainly consider South America, Latin America, like Mexico, Brazil, Ecuador, Colo. Then we have white plates, so it's not Colo. Yeah, the whites are pretty Mexican, I would say. And the short plate fits. Like Ecuador can also have short plates. Brazil would have longer plates, for example. And yeah, wipes, I don't know, feel like Yucatan or something. These rocks near the street. I don't know why I took so much time on this. I'm only on 17. I guess it makes sense. Like I threw a couple of some higher streaks in really stupid ways by just rushing my guesses. So I really made sure here to go a bit slower. Long antenna here. Sun to the north. I don't know if you can see that actually. But yeah, pretty Australian vibes, and the long antenna makes sense for Australia. Yeah, English. And we should be driving left. Yeah. And we have triangle signs which indicate UK, like Ireland would have diamond signs. Yeah, that's 20. That's like a Sri Lanka pole there with these huge insulators, and we have the Sri Lanka car again. The Sri Lanka poles also like the Thai poles squared, and then we often get these 3 huge insulators on top. Okay, this one's a bit tricky. It's quite rural around. Like Southern Europe vibes, and I think I see the language here, which is Spanish. So yeah, just Spain. Okay, we have the same insulators, but this time we should be in Bangladesh here. Actually interesting markings, like these white and red markings everywhere. But yeah, Bangladesh language with like that line on top. You can see it on the left here. Okay, this looks like a classic US or Canada. I think I got a couple of kind of difficult US Canada ones, like without obvious clues. Here we have like there's like that yellow or like orange white thing, which is almost US only, I would say. You can sometimes get it in like BC or something, like indicating like underground cables or something. Okay, red car again, so Ukraine. Also white painted bottom of the pole, very Ukrainian, typical for Ukraine. No, not unique, of course. Like if you're between Russia and Ukraine, that is. Okay, this is like one of them, I guess. Like, there isn't anything super obvious here. It's pretty much a bit of a wipe guess here. US, Canada. I am not even sure what this was, but there we have some pine trees actually, and there's a speed limit. I guess on the sign, so there actually was a clue. So speed limit US, and on the Canadian side, it would say maximum. Okay, concrete road here and driving right, like Southeast Asia concrete road, very typical for Philippines and Thailand. And when we're driving right, Philippines makes sense. There's a green tint on the plate, which also makes sense for Philippines. And tuk-tuk's also very Philippine thing. Okay, this one not super obvious. Okay, the house you could see there on the left for a brief moment, a very Scandinavian architecture. But other than that, oh yeah, not super obvious here, I guess. There's a pedestrian crossing sign which can sometimes be useful in the Nordics, but in this case it's kind of blocked. And I mainly, like, we have Gen 4, but now we got Gen 4 in all 3 of the Scandinavian countries. I guess if you count Denmark, all 4. But yeah, don't really know why I look at the poles. I have zero clue about Scandinavian poles, but yeah, that's the house again, Scandinavian house. And I think what made me go Norway in the end here is the black and yellow chevron that we can see in the middle here. Like in Sweden, we would probably have blue and yellow. And in Finland, I think they also use black and yellow. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this looks more like Norway with these rocks near the street. These, I don't know, way more Norwegian with the flatness and I don't know, kind of southern vibes, I guess. This looks like just near Oslo somewhere. Just Oslo suburbs or something. I think it was. So yeah, I look at the pedestrian crossing sign again. I guess it has probably 5 stripes. It's hard to see. But if it has 5 stripes, it's not Sweden, because Sweden would have 4. But I guess you can also get that from the chevron already. Although I'm not sure about the chevron too much, because it's not like a classic chevron. It's just, I don't know, not used in a classic way near on a guardrail or something. Okay. Yeah, check again. And then it's just, yeah, somewhere near Oslo. Yeah, Nordic signs again. Like Nordic language, and we have the short dashes near the street. So that makes sense for Sweden. Norway would have longer dashes, and Finland should have solid lines. Okay, here we have a double white middle line. We're driving on the left, and Southeast Asian vibes, so it makes a lot of sense for Malaysia. Like Malaysia loves to use double white. Pretty much the only country down there. Okay, this one looks... Oh yeah, this one. No. I still can't believe I got this one. Okay, I'm probably gonna speed this up actually, because I actually thought about this for quite a while. There's nothing here, honestly. We have an antenna. It took me a while to see it, but we have an antenna. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was. And yeah, that's it pretty much. Like, we have architecture, but I don't know. Just European architecture, I guess. Kind of maybe Eastern European a little bit. So I think actually my first thought was immediately when seeing this architecture was Slovakia. And that's also what I go with in the end. But yeah, I consider like 10 other countries in the meantime before I go there. And in the end, I'm like, I don't know, really not sure on Slovakia at all. Like I definitely can see a lot. For a moment, I want to go Poland because we have a bunch of pine trees, which I guess are more common. And these trees, I don't know what they are. They're like spruce, or I don't know what that is, like in the middle where my mouse is. I don't know, that feels more northern, I guess, like not northern, but these kind of forest trees, not really like southern Europe. So Slovakia, Czechia, I don't know. I also consider Romania, Poland, Baltics even. I don't know. Actually, thinking about it, I didn't even think about that at all. I think this is kind of spring coverage. It definitely looks kind of like spring. So that actually makes a lot of sense for Slovakia. Like spring coverage, Slovakia, Gen 3. Very typical. So I guess maybe that was my vibe here, why I thought Slovakia immediately, and also went with it. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna speed up the rest because I have not much left to explain here. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think I was like 80% confident the streak was over. But yeah, happy it wasn't. Then I was like, I was watching, I had like a stream open, like a Quarksaw stream doing Europe streaks, and then I was so lost on this one because I was like, okay, where in Europe is this? I was so stuck on Europe because of the previous round. I was like, what the hell is going on? Oh, can you give me some easier ones? Then I saw the guardrail. I was like, wait, there's a Japanese guardrail, and I was, oh yeah. It's also low cam. Low cam is kind of hard to see something in Gen 4, I feel like. Because you don't really have that white blur. Like, you kind of have it, but it's not as obvious as in Gen 3. Yeah, this is just Japan. Okay, Nigeria, follow car here. But yeah, at this point I'm also not like really sending like NPC stuff, I think. Because I'm making sure I don't lose the streak again in some stupid way. Like, I had like 250 streaks or something before that, which I really lost just by rushing pretty much. Just, alright, this is this, and then send, and oh wait. We actually had some obvious clues for some other countries. Pretty stupid. Okay, we have Spanish here and short plates, so again Mexico comes to mind. Yeah. Also the phone number, kind of a maybe Mexican format, like 2 groups of 3 and 1 group of 4. I think that's kind of Mexican. And the first 3 is actually like an area code, I believe. Plates, I don't know. Plates can be helpful in Mexico, but there's a lot of them, and these ones don't look kind of generic, they're just white. So we have a flag, I guess. Not a Mexican one though. Yeah, take my time here, making sure. And then just send Mexico, I guess. Like Puebla. Okay, Guatemala car. So this pavement, I don't know, I guess also common in like Ecuador. I think you get it in Guatemala a lot, and the poles are like painted at the bottom all the time in Guatemala, pretty much. Oh my god, this was also a stupid round, I guess. A very northern one. I think I first thought Argentina, and then yeah, but immediately the architecture's off. Looks kind of, yeah, I don't know, almost like Greenland architecture. So yeah, I think it's pretty easy Canada in the end. I don't really know these northern Canadian towns. And also this thing you see at the bottom of the pole here on the it's like off screen now, but there on that pole, it's like silver, I don't know, wrap at the bottom where the pole is standing in. I feel like that's a thing I see often in Canada. Not sure if you can find it elsewhere. Yeah, and there you can see it again. Yeah, I don't really know. It's just very northern vibes, and I think I actually lined it up. It didn't really work. I kind of know which ones have coverage, but I don't really know what it looks like. So yeah, I think I went with Iqaluit or whatever. So yeah, probably I actually took a pretty long break from this, from ADW streaking, because I got like a 99 streak at some point. Actually messing up the final round, because 100 has always been like I don't know, maybe like my biggest goal for GeoGuessr when I started playing. Like maybe one day I'll be able to get to 100. Like I didn't really expect it that I would grind that much and would be able to get there at some point. But yeah, it was kind of a goal, I guess. Also, like seeing someone like RC who watched the streak, who watched streaking back then. Polish sign here, double white middle lines, a bunch of pine trees. So it stands for Poland. So yeah, seeing someone getting a 100 streak, I don't know, was really impressive, and I think it's really cool that I got there in the end. But yeah, getting a 99 was pretty painful, and I took like 6-month break at least from streaking pretty much. Okay, we had some Indo poles here. The 3 insulators on top, very typical. Okay, driving left here. This should be just South Africa. We have also an area code 012. It's just normally near Johannesburg and Pretoria. Actually, 012 is usually Pretoria, and 011 is Johannesburg. Low cam here, and yeah, I don't know. It's very Japanese looking, I guess. It's a bit of a vibe. Again, South Africa, driving left with these distinct triple center lines that you only find in Southern Africa, like 3 white center lines. Okay, very Norwegian location with the long dashes near the street. That's a Polish sign with a very thin red border. Actually sent that NPZ because you really don't get that anywhere else. Low cam again with the Japanese guardrail. So I don't think it's only in Japan, that guardrail. It's very common in Japan. Yeah, that white guardrail. Okay, these checkerboard signs are only in Canada. And we have Ontario poles here on the left. That's an Ontario pole. You can rarely see it somewhere else, but pretty much only Ontario. Double white middle line, driving left, and very Australian vibes actually. With the soil and vegetation, that makes a lot of sense for WA. Okay, that was like another one of these US-Canada ones. Which I guess isn't super obvious. Actually don't remember this too well. Yeah, I don't know. The front plate there actually. Okay, actually I sent that really quickly. I guess there weren't really obvious clues there. But yeah, vibes were a bit more southern, I guess. But okay, that's an Argentina pole there in the distance. These double concrete poles with like horizontal bars. Again here on the right. So just Argentina. I think I've seen these like recently in Bolivia a few times. So it's interesting. Yeah, it was Gen 4. No, Gen 4 in Bolivia. Okay, this one's another US-Canada one. That's not the same marker like earlier. It's just, I don't know what that is. And again, I don't think there was something super obvious here. I zoom stuff and just hope to find something. It's kind of this, I don't know, this rubber or whatever that is on the street, the black stuff. That's more common in the US. Yeah, but other than that, there's not much. So I was wondering what these trees are. They look kind of interesting. Don't really give me a vibe though. I think I've practiced a bunch of Canada at some point for a couple of days or like 1.5 weeks or something. And whenever I think, okay, I don't know what this would be in Canada, I just go US. It was a bit of that strategy here, I guess. And the sign, I don't know, the sign I've never seen in Canada, the street sign with the white on top and on the bottom. I guess those were Italian bollards, and we have a short plate with blue on both sides, Italian plate. Yeah, I got an ARI that's just Romania, but I think I sent Antarctica. So actually, if you count this as Romania, which I'm pretty sure it is, then I guess the streak is higher, like by 1. I don't know. And another US. A lot of mailboxes. Mailboxes near the street are more common in the US than in Canada. And then we have the same marker again behind the blue sign. So yeah, it's just Norway, these huge mountains and Scandinavian architecture. Okay, holy poles. Holy poles, Poland, Hungary, Romania, and that's a Polish sign, these green ones. Also get green signs in Hungary, but yeah. The font, I guess, is Polish. Just, if you've seen it a couple of times, you recognize it. Okay, here we have the double white lines again. Also a bunch of oil palms here, very common for Malaysia and Indonesia. And Malaysian bollards, the two reflectors. But yeah, again, white center lines, that makes double white center lines, that makes a lot of sense for Malaysia. Indonesian flags. Don't know where I went here. Java. Okay, UK architecture, I don't know. There's brick buildings, yellow backplate, white front plates, driving left. That's enough to send UK. And another US, probably. This looks kind of southern, I guess. There's probably no front plate there. Hard to see. I don't think there's an area code there. I wouldn't know the US ones. But if I see a Canadian area code, I guess that helps sometimes. So if I see an area code, I can consider Canada if it's one of them. Okay, now we have a bunch of pines, which you get a lot in like southeastern US. That was actually down in Florida. And that's always 60. Okay, hedgerows. There's like, I don't know, there's a New Zealand pole, I guess, over there. Kind of hard to see though. We have a stubby antenna, which you can sometimes get in New Zealand. And we're driving left, I guess. So that and these thick white signposts, I didn't even see that when I played, I think, but yeah. Typical New Zealand. And with these hedgerows, you're usually on the southern island, often near Christchurch. I don't know, I just sent something. There's probably another Mexico. Actually, double yellow lines, not that common in Mexico. But yeah, short plates again, white ones, so not Colombia, for example. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. We would just have Spanish, and sun might be kind of south. And we have, actually, we could see it there briefly. There was like a yellow wrap around the pole. There again, yellow wrap around the electricity pole, very common in Mexico. So those are good clues, I guess. There's a yellow plate this time, so it makes sense that it's Colombia. Round concrete poles, Spanish. Yeah. And there was a Colombian cross, I guess, there on the back of the sign. What is this? Just Russia. I don't know. There's not a super obvious clue here, I guess. We have Cyrillic, obviously. There's a black bottom on the signpost, which is Russia, but not Ukraine. And it looked kind of southern, I guess. It looked too dry for Ukraine to me. Okay, this one's difficult. We have the black tape on the antenna and kind of Eastern Europe vibes, but there are a bunch of countries that have the flag, like Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Czechia, I think Slovakia as well. We have a ton of sunflowers, and sunflowers are very common in like Romania and Bulgaria, especially, I would say. You can definitely also get them in Hungary, I think, but I don't know. I feel like it didn't really look like Hungary, maybe a bit too dry, or I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't sure at all on whether it is Romania or Bulgaria here. But I feel like I'm not sure if I had this exact round before, but similar ones in Romania. Similar vibes with these sunflower fields in the southeastern Romania, and that's where I go. Yeah, maybe it actually was repeated. I don't know. But if it was repeated, it's a long time ago. Okay, green back of the sign, very common in British Columbia. In Canada, also we have the transistor, like the bucket on the pole facing the road. And we have these guardrails, which are very typical for BC. So that's where I go. Yeah, this another one. I wasn't 100% sure. This looks like Russia, Ukraine. I'm not quite sure. I think the yellow border on the pedestrian crossing sign is Russia, but I wasn't sure on that. I'm not sure if you can find it in Ukraine or not. Other than that, this looks like it could be both. Like the road is pretty good. Like in Ukraine, you often get like a worse quality, like more potholes and stuff. Now we have a sign actually, so I tried if there was like a unique letter. It's like the I that you can only get in Ukrainian, but we didn't have that there. So yeah, I don't really know what this is. I just think I'm trusting the yellow border in the end, and maybe the road quality should be a bit more Russian both. So yeah, that's where I go. Don't think we could see the plate there. That could have been helpful too. Okay, I have a Nigerian pole on the left. I have a ladder pole. And yeah, this is the super white blur and the follow car. And here we see the front of the car, which is you get a lot in, you see in Ghana, and we have the Ghana tape, of course. But even without the tape, you can usually recognize Ghana with the front of the car being visible. Like that. Okay, that's a Peru pole with the street light on top. And the, like, I don't know, hard to explain. Like, the way it's mounted on the pole, it's like a Peruvian thing. South African signs. And yeah, language as well, Gen 4. So Gen 4 only in South Africa, not in the other 3 Southern African countries. That's a Jalisco plate in Mexico. You kind of recognize it with the yellow on top and blue at the bottom. So I go Jalisco. And that's actually the first streak with like more than 70, I think, since I started doing ADW again. So I'm actually kind of nervous. I don't know. I'm really making sure, like, I kind of want this grind to be over. Because, I don't know, ADW is just stupid. Like, I wanted to get it to 100. That was kind of a goal of mine, so I don't know. That's why I still do that, I guess. But yeah, it's stupid if you get like a 50-50 on a 50, 60, 70 streak. Even this streak, there were a couple of quite, well, rounds where I definitely wasn't sure, kind of a 50-50. Some US-Canada ones, some Bulgaria-Romania one, the Russia-Ukraine one we just saw. Okay, we have tie poles here, which, like, the wipes are not super tight. For me, also the car's a bit weird. I guess you get that in Thailand, but it's not too common, with the reflector being visible at the back of the car. But yeah, again, the square poles with the holes, like, very tight. Makes sense. It was just some weird location near the border. Yeah, interesting plate. I don't really know what that is. I mean, I know it's probably a Brazil plate, just an old one, I guess. The new ones look different. We have the stubby antenna again. Actually, we have the stubby antenna to the right of the white thingy at the back of the car, which is a good clue for Roraima. We actually also have these red streetlights, which are also a good clue for Roraima. But I think I missed both of that, so I didn't go Roraima. I think it was Roraima. And also these black and yellow signposts, I think, maybe common there. I don't know. I think they're actually more of a Mappa thing, but I guess you can get that in Roraima as well. Okay, these black and yellow markings at the bottom there. It's a Colombia thing. We have yellow plates again, multiple. Spanish. So should be enough to send Colombia. Always gotta be a bit careful because there are like commercial yellow plates in Peru, but usually just Colombia. It's like on normal cars. Okay, there's a Uruguayan road marker, the green one. Okay, again, black and yellow markings on the pole, but not going all the way to the bottom, so it's South Korea, not Taiwan. Okay, another US, Canada. I don't know what really is the clue here. Houses look kind of, I don't know, it can be both, I guess. Feels kind of northern, I don't know, it feels a bit more Canadian than US to me. Kind of Ontario architecture, like Toronto suburbs or something. Kind of typical architecture for that. Kind of wealthy. But I really wasn't sure here either. Trying to find a clue here, obvious clue. There's a hydrant in the distance. I think it's actually, is that a yellow one? I don't know. Hydrants are not really useful to distinguish between US and Canada, I think, but they can be useful in Canada. I recently found out by the Jasper Woodard videos, but I don't know the matters yet. I have to learn them still. I think they can be actually quite useful to get the right city in Canada. Yeah, I just keep zooming things and hope I find something. Like 76, I don't know, pretty scary. It's annoying to lose a streak on that. Yeah, that guy. I think in the end I zoom on the stop sign on the right here. I think it might say Arrêt in blurred. Look kind of like could be there a T at the end or something. So that would mean Quebec. I think I go with that. It wasn't Quebec, so it didn't say Arrêt. It was Canada. So yeah. Kind of lucky. Okay, that looks like a... I mean, this looks like Spain or Portugal with these trees everywhere. These white signs often say something like, I don't know, like private property or something, I think, just in Spanish. They're common in Spain. Don't know if you get them in Portugal too much. Maybe sometimes. And this sign kind of looked Spanish, the stop sign, I don't know. Just the way it looks, the font and everything. But overall, I'm not sure on this one either. I think this could be Portugal, probably. Don't really know the stop signs too well. I'm not really that good at country streaking anymore. Like, I used to be better at that, I think. I don't remember a lot of these signs, these European sign differences and stuff, because I did so much like region guessing practice in the past few months. As I said, I took like a 6-month break from ADW streaks, which was like the thing I did the most at some time, but yeah, just moved on to something else and now returned a little bit. Okay, this is another not easy one. I kind of I don't know, maybe these are more obvious now, I guess. Or like, it's not as scary to send something on these, like if you're just sitting here watching. But if you're on a 78th streak, like every round feels like the hardest round in the world. We have a concrete road here, and we're probably driving right, at least it looks like it. Southeast Asian vibes, also the white car makes sense for that, for Southeast Asia. I mean, you can get it somewhere else, but get a lot in Southeast Asia. And yeah, if we're driving right and with the concrete road and the vibes, I guess, kind of fit. Bit weird. Philippines makes sense. Like, I don't know. I was hoping it was just not classic bait round. It's weird. I got some really baity ADW locations like today or something. The past few days. Because some of them were like really I was like, what the fuck? Why is this ADW? Is it just way too baity? I guess there are some. Yeah. Also, those are the kind of rounds you often just send too quickly. Like, you see something that seems to make the country obvious, and then in the end you realize there was something that would have told you it was something different. But yeah, here, I don't know. I just trusted in the end. Go with the concrete road and driving right. Just go Philippines. It's just all the way south. Okay, Colombian cross. And there's a yellow plate as well. Another Colombian cross on the back of the sign. Okay, Alto. So that should be Mexico with the Gen 4. It shouldn't be any other country with Gen 4 that has Alto signs. Again, Gen 4, driving left. And yeah, this is just South Africa with the blue car with the antenna. Sun is north. Don't think there can be any other country. Also like African vibes, black people. Okay, this was another scary one. This is like one of these, like now, or like when I'm on a 10 streak or something, I just send that quickly. But yeah, we have these bollards, which I guess are just Germany and Lux normally. You can sometimes get similar ones elsewhere, I think, but usually it's just Lux and in Germany. You can sometimes get something like that in Sweden or something. I don't know. Maybe it look different. Again, those are like the clues. I can't even remember that well. Like, forgot a lot of them. But yeah, it should be Lux. What scares me, like, I think Lux has a lot of white car Gen 4 and this is blue car, so I'm a bit scared by that, but yeah. In the end, I just go with Lux, I think, because what else would this be with these bollards? Okay. I don't know, just European vibes. I don't know if we want to try to get this NMPZ. Yeah, the house in the distance there at the end of the street with these brick on the corners. That's very typical for France, and there's French French language there. So just France, somewhere in the mountains. Okay, at first though this was South Africa again, but it was actually Australia with an Australian bollard somewhere there. Blurry, but yeah. This should just be Russia. Yeah, very Russian vibes. These chevrons very typical for Russia, and yeah, can't be Ukraine because it's Gen 4. This, well, another one where I'm like, okay, this should just be Canada, but what if it's like a Beatty Maine or something? It's actually kind of close to Maine, but it was Canada. Okay, Kenya car. Yeah, driving left here. And yellow back plate, white front plate. That's UK. Those are like black and white chevrons, I think. I don't know what Ireland has. Ireland have like black and yellow. I don't know. Okay, Austrian / Slovenian bollards here. And those, I think, are Austrian, these bus stop signs. I don't think you get them in Slovenia, but I wasn't sure on that either. But yeah, with these huge mountains, there are some, like in northern Slovenia, you can sometimes see that, but usually it's just Austria. Okay, very Hokkaido vibes with the cabbage near the street. I don't know, just I don't know, Hokkaido is just very, like, I don't know, has a very distinct vibe, I guess. Okay, this looks like just Peru. And we have a sign with like these 2 concrete blocks, yeah, pointed on them. So yeah, that should be Peru. That's very Peruvian. Yeah, Finnish language and pedestrian crossing sign with 5 stripes. In Sweden we would have 4 stripes. Yeah, just very Finnish language. Okay, another not easy one. Czechia, Slovakia, bollards, Czechia, Slovakia, poles, Czechia, Slovakia, guardrail. The vibes are very Slovakian here to me with these hills. I don't know. Also a wild guess, I think. I would probably insta-send Slovakia there where we didn't have antenna. In Slovakia we get a lot of Gen 4 with antenna. In Czechia we get a lot of Gen 4 without antenna, and we didn't have antenna. So I was a bit scared here. Definitely looked more Slovakian. But yeah, antenna was a bit like the non-existent antenna was scary about this, especially if you're that close to 100. Like with antenna, I insta sent this. I think it looks very Slovakian, these hills. So I thought, is that a sign, a Slovakia sign? With in Czechia, you often get these arrows on them. I think it's just a house, though. But yeah, in the end, I just went with my vibe and sent Slovakia and pray that it's not Czechia somehow. Alright. So I need like 6 more now. Okay, there's another Eswatini. So maybe I can explain it now. We have Gen 3 here, and these vibes with this high grass. If you're ever wondering if this is like Eswatini or maybe South Africa close to Eswatini, it's always Eswatini because there's no Gen 3 near Eswatini in South Africa. Like, I don't know. I've never seen Gen 3 there, at least. Like the closest Gen 3 you get is probably like Mombela or something that looks very different from Eswatini, I would say. Oh, we have the Kyrgyzstan car, I think. I don't even know if that was Kyrgyzstan. Okay, Taiwan pole markings. I just hope for like some easy rounds now. And I think I don't get more difficult ones for 100. Oh, actually, this one wasn't easy either, I guess. Like not obvious. With the white car in South America. So Bolivia, Peru, Chile. Yeah, the vibes are very Chilean, I guess. Still, I don't know. We didn't have Peru signposts, which would be black and white. So, and this is not Bolivia. Bolivia never looks like this. I guess Chile, Peru also doesn't really look like this. This just looks like Chile, but again, it's scary when you're that close, especially if you've lost like a streak on 99 before. And actually, that was like a real border location. Imagine that was like a spill somehow. Okay, easiest Kenya with the car. I actually have the 5K and then I zoom away from it. You can see it now. Because there aren't many bridges in Kenya, or bigger rivers. And they're pretty much all on the coast there. So I zoom that one, that doesn't fit. Then I look at the other one. I don't think it fits either. And then I just click Nairobi for some reason. I don't know why. And then it was that second bridge, which I guessed lined up. Okay, 99. The last round. Final round for 100. Yeah, Spanish. We have this car, the white car with the reflector visible. That's pretty much Mexico, Brazil, Colombia usually. I think not this one, but the previous pole looked kind of octagonal, so that should be a Mexican pole. And we have these rock walls, which I don't think you find in Brazil or in Colombia. And we have the yellow wrap again there, which I don't know if it counts for concrete poles. I usually see it on wooden poles, but we have it there, I guess. And the short plate, so can't be Brazil again. Poles are not Brazilian either. Wipes are Mexican, everything. Yeah, and I'm happy I got the 100 this week. I'm actually pretty happy I can do something else now. Like, I would probably never do this again. Like, ADW streaking is not so much fun, to be honest. Like, I think it's good if you're starting out playing GeoGuessr. To get into GeoGuessr, get into country streaks, I think it's good because it's not super difficult. But yeah, once you have like a PB of 50, 60, 70 or like even 100, then yeah, you just, I don't know. It's just annoying to try to get a new one because it takes forever. Yeah, this one, I mean, I don't care about this anymore, to be honest. Like, I just want to get to 100. I don't care if I lose the streak on 100. Would be kind of funny. But yeah, this pole, like this metal pole behind the lamppost, that's very typical for Turkey. The wipes fit. I try to see if the car's white because in Turkey you get a... Oh wait, this is Gen 3. I thought this was Gen 4 when I had the streak. So this actually is an easy Turkey because there was no antenna. I looked for if I would see the white car. Oh wait, is this Gen... No, this is Gen 3, right? So I guess no antenna in Europe with these wipes. Should always be Turkey. Can get no antenna in like North Macedonia and Serbia. I guess you can sometimes get in like Italy or something, but yeah, usually always Turkey with Mediterranean vibes. This looks like Kenya again. It looks like New Zealand. Actually a Victoria pole. So yeah, it's Victoria. There we have a Serbian bollard with the off-center reflector, which is just pointing toward the street, kinda. And no antenna again. So yeah, Serbia, a lot of no antenna. Rarely antenna. I guess you can, I think you can get no antenna in Croatia. No, actually, I forgot about that. I actually had that before. That's actually really annoying. Don't know if you can find it everywhere in Croatia or only in some parts, but yeah. First thought like Canada here. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, we have the road like kilometer, not kilometer marker. I don't even know what this is. Is it kilometer marker? No, not really. Some marker you get in the Baltics, and there's a meta like the way it's pointing. Like this one is parallel to the street, but it's facing. Some are facing the street, and then there's like an L-shaped one, which says like it's like diagonal. And I couldn't remember the meta to this. Like I think, or like I was like I guess like 80% that this was the Latvian one, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, there's nothing else. The poles look kind of generic, probably wooden, so it makes sense. It's more like Latvian and Estonian thing. Was Latvia? Brazil flag there. Yeah, just long plates this time, so it was right near Argentina. For some reason that broke my country streak counter. Like, I don't know why. It being that close to the border broke it. Or I don't know what causes it, but for some reason it didn't. It stopped counting at that point. That's a straight Austrian bollard, and that signs Austria only. That with a blue border. Okay, black car, stubby antenna, usually always Colombia. In Latin America, if you see it. And there's a Colombian cross on the sign again. So I just send it. I feel like there's a lot of tiled roofs in that region. I don't know, tiled roofs everywhere. I feel like they're especially common there. And then I checked again if there was actually if I got the country there was because the country streak, I don't know, stopped counting. I think I just count up manually, but I gotta double check again if I don't know. Check. This is black car, Argentina. You can find black car in Peru and in Uruguay too, but doesn't look like that at all. Low cam, Japan, another US, Canada, but this one's the wipes are pretty southern, I would say. So this should be a pretty obvious US to me. I don't know. This is another wipe thing. Pretty difficult to describe. But yeah, I think here I lost it. Yeah, here I lost it. So again, we have the black, the stubby antenna on the car in Latin America. Sun appears to be north. I think the sun is just setting, so it's not useful. So this could be Brazil, Mexico, Ecuador, and Colombia with this antenna. And then I'm trying to think what was my thought process here. We don't have a Colombian cross on that sign probably because we would see the bolts. Like you can see the Colombian cross by the bolting on the front as well. Like it would be in all four corners, and that's only on the top and bottom corner. Yeah, and then I'm not sure. Like I actually mainly consider Ecuador and Mexico here. From wipes. So that sign is not black at the bottom, like on the back. So that points like away from Brazil, I guess. Brazilian signs are often like bigger. But yeah, overall, not super obvious round, I guess. Pretty hard one. And for me, the wipes were kind of either Mexican or I don't know, maybe Ecuador. And I went with Ecuador in the end. And yeah, it was Brazil. Southern Brazil actually makes sense with the landscape for sure. Also with the soil, which was a little bit red, I guess. I don't know. Difficult one for sure, I would say. I actually didn't really consider Brazil too much on this, so if I could consider it more, maybe I would have went there actually. For some reason, I just didn't consider Brazil at all here. Well, still pretty happy about this. As I said, kind of a thing I wanted to achieve, and now I got it. Actually, also it was kind of a thing like now the year is almost over. I kind of try to get it this year still. And I'm happy I got it now, because this is actually the last day I can pretty much do attempts this year, because tomorrow I don't have any time for it. So that's cool. Yeah, a good way to end this year, because this year I played a bunch of GeoGuessr actually. Kind of the beginning, like early January this year, I started getting into GeoGuessr more, played more actively. So it's a good way to end the GeoGuessr year, I guess. Yeah, very happy. Okay, I don't know. Might do something like this again in the future. People like it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you. Bye bye.